Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today it's Friday Freebie Day. Now this is number 130. We have got an ink saver one for you today because I still haven't received my ink. So it should be on its way. So we have got a nice one for you today. Now I've done it in a couple of different ways for you. So it's not just sort of like boring and black and white. You can do so much more with it, so I'm going to show you what I've done. Now they're just sort of like journaling cards. They're very random, so it was sort of like, you know, just it's nice to have something a little bit random, isn't it, in your stash. And I love this giraffe. Who doesn't love a lovely giraffe in there? Handbags, we've got some vintage ladies, we've got this beautiful lamp, we've got this lovely sort of like flowers on there, and we've got some sort of like a clock handle and some bits and pieces on that one. So lots of lovely random bits in there, so they're really nice. So I printed this one on just plain copy paper. I have printed this one, which is the same, and this is on some tea stain paper, coffee tea stain paper that I use. I mix my tea and coffee together to get this colour. And I've also printed it onto this one, which is one of my watercolour papers. I've got an assorted pack of really nice, lovely sort of like rainbowy colours, and this is one which is on the pink. Now if you look, I'm hoping you can see that it's not too blurry. There's such a contrast in the colours of the watercolour, so it's not just one plain pink colour. It's looking really nice, so I hope that didn't go blurry on there, but loving it. So I'm going to show you what you do. So you can print it on, if you wanted some pattern paper that you wanted to print them on top of, you can do that as well. You can cut down some scrapbook papers and print onto that ones that you don't like, all sorts of ways, but I'm doing it in some tea stain paper today. So I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to show you actually what I have done in our Friday Freebie book, so which is this one. So this is the start of the new year. This is which I've put our 2023 calendar book in there, the mini one, and the little mini folder that we made last week as well, which I'm loving. So I'm going to stick that in there. We have got all of this. I believe we started this book in July or June or July, so we've got lots of bits and pieces. So this is today's. Now if you saw my video yesterday, I did this origami pouch, which is lovely, so I thought I would use that to put some of our cards into. Now I've made some here which I have coloured in, and I just think they are lovely. So I've stuck it onto a piece of card, I've sewn around them, I've added some little scrap bits of paper, and then I've coloured them in with some watercolour pencils. Now I did add a tiny bit of water to them, but not a lot, because I've got an inkjet printer and not a laser printer. If you have a laser printer, then the ink won't smudge if you wet it, but with a my inkjet it will smudge. So I've just coloured them in with a little bit of water, with the watercolour pencils, and just a tiny bit of water, but you can still see the pencil marks. And I just think they look lovely. I'm loving the giraffe. I think he's so cute, and I think they will make a beautiful addition to your journals, or just a pop in your stash. I've added a nice bit, so this sort of like all blends in, and a little bit of scrap paper. These are from my Collage paper kits. So what I've done, I've coloured it in, and then added the colour. No, I didn't actually, I did it the other way around. I added the colour and then took the colour from the paper and added it to the picture like that. So I've taken this pink and coloured the little roses in pink on there, like that. So that's an orangey colour, and then we've taken the blue from this paper and I've coloured in the paisley print on there, and again the pink, and then again we've got the beautiful roses on here which I've coloured in the lovely lily in that colour. So they're really nice, so you can colour them in. So that's another way of doing it. And this one I'll pop a link to this video, which is really nice, really simple video, and I've seen some of you have posted on the Facebook group already of making it. And I've done a different closure on this one. I've got a little loop and a button to hold it in place or hold it together, and it just opens up. Now I've done these ones a little bit different. Now I've actually waxed these. Now I've not used wax before. It's the beeswax where you melt it, so I gave it a go on these, which are really nice. I've just scrunched that one up. I will do a video on the beeswax. I'm not 100% sure about it yet, whether I like it or not, but I think I will give it a bit more of a go and see how I get on. But they are lovely. What I did, I inked, these were in, I think I did these on coffee stain paper as well. So I got my little daubers like this, and I popped some vintage photo on there, and I also used some wild honey, so they were the browns and yellows, so it makes it look even more sort of like vintagey look. But they're nice. I like them. I do like them, and I'm just going to pop them into here. And again, what I've done, I've glued down this little pouch on 3 sides, so we have the pocket at the top as well to pop things into. So I'm going to pop these in here until I want to use them in a journal that I'm doing. So let's pop those in there. Do our little button up. So I do like this closure. I will probably use that on other things throughout the year, I think. Oh, if I can do it up, saying that. There we go. All as I did, I tied a little button on there. So I think that looks really nice. So let's pop that to the side. And I'm going to show you what we will be doing today. I've made just some really basic tags. Now I know a lot of you are beginners, because I have a lot of beginners join the Facebook group and also the YouTube channel. So I just wanted to do something a little bit more where everybody can do it, and you don't need too many bits and pieces. So all you need to have a printer that prints out black and white, and you can have the Friday freebie. I have got some book paper, and this is just like an index card that I've used on some of them, and I've just used this as a piece of card, so you can recycle if you wanted to. I got a tiny bit of fabric in there, and I just think they're lovely. And then I've got a nice little sort of like top piece made from string, the top of the tag, and I'll show you how I did that as well. So I've made these, I've made them a little bit grungy. I've torn it here and rolled it, so just so they look nice and old and grungy. So I think these will go into any sort of like vintage journal that you have. And I also printed off my butterflies in black and white to see how they would come out. They did come out quite dark, and this was the lightest one that I had that I printed off, but I thought that would go really nice. And I've just made like a little hole in the middle, which is this one here. I just did a hole, tore a hole in the middle of that one, and then pop some book paper behind, a little bit of fabric, and because it's got flowers, I thought I'd pop the butterfly on there, and I just think that looks really nice. And of course our lovely giraffe. I do like giraffes. Okay, so I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to just show you how simple it is to do. So I've got my piece of card. Now shall I give this a quick sort of measure? That's 3 inches by 7.5 centimeters, or just under 5 inches by 12.5 centimeters. So that's the piece of card that I've got. I've got the handbag one with the lovely flower, so we're going to stick that on there. And I've got some book paper and a little bit of fabric, so I'm going to pop those to the side. I'm just going to get my sheet of paper, because I want to just ink this and grunge it up a little bit. So I'm going to just take a little bit of the vintage photo and just go over it, just grunge it up a little bit. Let me put this into the middle, shall I? Just grunge it up like that, a little bit. And I'm going to get my little dauber. These are lovely. I think a couple of you asked what these were. They're little sort of like sponge daubers, however you'd like to pronounce it. I do have a little not a little, I do have them in my Amazon storefront for you to take a look, so you know what you're looking for. So you can take a peek. There's a link under the video for Amazon.com, and I've got Amazon UK. I'm trying to get one now for Amazon Spain, because that's the one that I actually use, because it's the closest to me here in Portugal. So there we go, that's that. I might actually should we just make a little grungy tear? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tear it, just tear it, tiny little piece out. That's only a little piece like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ink that on the front. And then I'm going to turn it over and ink the back of it as well. And I'm going to ink just around the edges, because you can then scrunch the edges up and it won't be sort of like tea stain. You'll have the ink on the back, on the front or the back, however you like to do it. So when you sort of like roll them up like that, if I can, like that, you've got it's sort of like inked behind. Then you can just add a little bit more like that, and then these bits I will just sort of like scrunch up and turn up, just try and sort of like roll it back just to look like it looks a bit grungy, doesn't it? Like that. Okay, perfect. So nice little grungy bit, and then I've got my little distress tool here. I'm going to just run that round the edge just a little bit like this, just so it scrunches up, just distresses it just a little bit. Then I'll get a little bit more ink and just do this like that. I don't know what I'm talking about today. I'm getting all muddled up. I don't normally use this, that's what I meant to say. I normally use a pair of scissors. So if you don't have one of these distress tools, let me just find a pair of scissors. I use my great big scissors, and I just rough up the edges like that. So you don't have to have a distress tool. You can just take a pair of scissors and rough up the edge like that. Okay, there we go. So that's how you do that. So that's that one. And what we're going to do is just roll that up. And then this sits on there. So it looks all grungy and nice. Like that. So it's amazing what you can do with just a piece of black and white printed paper, isn't it? So I'm going to take some newsprint, I was going to say, some book paper. You can tell I'm having a lack of sleep, can't you? I can't get my words out at the moment. So there we are. Let's just grunge this up a little bit. Like this. And here. So again, you don't have to use book paper. You can use anything, any bits of scrap paper that you've got that you want to pop behind. Let's take that out of the way. Now I'm going to get my glue. Now I've refilled this again, so this has got some tacky glue in it, which is, let me show you which glue I use. This is this one, which I get from a shop in Spain online, and it's a really, really good one. It's lovely, and I find it, I just water it down just a little bit with some water. Just a few drops of water, and then it's easier to come out of the bottle. So let's just stick just some random pieces down like this. Now that come from under there. We'll put a little bit of fabric, I think, under there, and then this can come on the top like that. Then we will just stick this. No, we won't. I need some fabric first. Here we go. This is just offcuts that I have. So these are just little bits that I picked up from my fabric scrap box. Like this. I'm just going to wrinkle them up. Got yellow on my hands from the ink there. Let's take these little bits off. So what I want to do is just put the piece in here. And what I'm going to do, I think I will glue it to the back. Now I'm going to glue it to the back with some Fabri-Tac. So I'm going to pop a little bit on here, like this. And I'm going to just stick that down on top. Push it in, pull that up, just so it comes up through that little gap there, like that. Just so it looks nice and scruffy. Should we pop another bit on the top? Could do, couldn't we? Let's take this piece. Don't need all of it. Let's just take this, pop a little bit up here, need a bit of glue, scrunch that on top, and then we can just stick this down like that, which is so simple to do, isn't it? And very quick and easy. But I'm loving these tags. I'm bringing out another actual ink saver black and white kit, because which has got more embellishment type things in it, because I know lots of you don't have, you know, only have sort of like black and white printers as well. And also we need to save a little bit of money on ink, don't we? Because it is quite expensive. So I thought I'd bring out another black and white one with sort of like embellishments that you can jazz up a little bit. And I do like colouring in. I did enjoy colouring those ones with the paper, with the watercolour pencils. So look, you can put, when you turn it over like that, you can push these bits in, and when at the back, because we've inked it, it's already inked, so you haven't got sort of like your white paper coming through. So I think that looks really lovely, doesn't it? See how easy peasy is that? And I'm loving it. So it makes a lovely, lovely tag. So let's pop this on, pop our lids back on like this, because my ink, my glue does tend to dry up very, very quickly. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do these little tag tops. Now these are really, really simple as well. This one is a little bit shorter than that one, so I'm going to show you how easy they are to do. Just another way of putting in a tag top. Now I have probably, that's probably 7 or 8 inches, 20 something centimeters. So I'm just going to take 4 lengths of that, like that, but obviously you can do it whatever length you like. And then I'm going to double that in half, and I'm going to push that through the little hole like that, if I can get it through. And then I'm just going to bend it up on top of each other. Okay, then I'm going to take another piece of string, I'm going to hold on to this like that. I'm going to hold this piece of string, one end, in my hand under my thumb, and I'm going to wrap this round just a couple of times and then tie that in a knot. So this piece of string that you've cut off, you want it quite long so you can actually tie it. Bring it down a little bit, tie that, do a double knot on there, and then I'm just going to cut a little bit of that off. And then we have this lovely little top, and it's got like little loops in it. So I think that looks really, really nice, doesn't it? Something a little bit different as well. So how easy was that? So that's a lovely tag. So this will give you a really nice set of 6 tags. Now again, if you have my butterflies, the rainbow of butterflies, or any butterflies, print them off in black and white. And then you will have these lovely little butterflies that you can use. So there we go, guys. That is the ones that I've just made. these are the other ones. So we've got lots of lovely journaling cards. So these are the different ways you can do it. And I just think they are so, so lovely. Where's our little giraffe in there hiding. And then we also have, let me undo my button. We have these ones which are the waxed ones. So, which are quite nice. Still get used to doing that. I will probably give it a few more goes and do a video on it just to show you. But there we go, guys. That's your Friday freebie for this week. This is what you will get to print off. And I am just loving it. So I hope you do too. So please do have fun. I will look forward to seeing what you have been making and how you've done it in the Facebook group. So please do join the Facebook group if you are not part of it already, and you will be able to download these for free. So all right, guys, well, thank you so much for joining me. Please have a fantastic rest of the day, a lovely weekend, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye bye.